I just wanted to make this video. Um, it's a little bit different than the previous one that I just put up. But there's been a lot of people making videos on YouTube, and it's talking about how things in your life will get better. And a lot of them are just called "It Gets Better." And that's exactly the point of it, because there's been a lot of um, suicides going on lately in teens, especially like like 14, 15 years old. I mean, that's probably one of the hardest times of your life. And I know what that's like too, because for me, I went through so many times when I was that age that they're just they're so hard to get through. And in that moment, you feel that there's no other option out of anything except suicide. And there's been a lot of people committing suicide for these reasons, and it's because people, I mean, it's hard enough already just to be discovering yourself, who you are, um, for whatever reason it is for you that makes it hard. For me, it was coming out of the closet, um, and I mean, my growing up wasn't always the greatest. So there's that, and then there was the coming to terms with myself being gay, and then there's of course everyone in the school that don't understand what it's like. Maybe like I don't know. I mean, not everybody goes through it, so you get bullied a lot for being different or not being cool or popular, or for being gay or for being fat or being too skinny, or just being different or weird in everyone else's eyes. Um, and it's just not right. I mean, I saw this one thing on YouTube. Um, it was this group of people that went around to high schools, and it was called "If You Only Knew Me," and it was really neat, because you really, when they went through the school, you really got to know some of the people that you would make fun of every day, and it just people have no idea what goes on in your head, and they don't understand how hurtful your words can be to them. Like constantly bullying or insulting or putting down someone else. There's just no reason for it. I mean, people are committing suicide because they're made to feel worthless, or like they're never going to become something. They're never going to be good enough for anybody. And it's just it's really hard to deal with that, and coming to terms with yourself inside. Um, like I said, for me, it was because I had come out, and I would listen to people make fun of me every single day in high school. I mean, I would skip class just to avoid people. Um, like I would get eggs thrown at me walking down the street. I would have people driving by repeatedly in one night just so they could yell "fag" out the window one more time, and it's really tough. Um, and then also, I was at the point where I didn't want to deal with that anymore. I didn't want to have to. I don't know. Like I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to accept who I was. I didn't want to accept the life that I was in. I didn't want to. I just didn't want to be around. Like it just, there was no good reason to be here anymore, and I just, and I don't know. I mean, you get what I'm saying. I know that you get what I'm saying, because everyone either has been through it or they've seen someone go through it. Um, Everybody hears about it. You hear about it all the time. Um, but it does get better when you realize that, I mean, for one, high school is just high school. It seems like the most important time of your life when you're in it, but I'm 26 now, and I I remember the good things of high school, because there was a lot of good stuff in high school, um, and I just try to forget the rest of it. Well, I don't forget it because everything that I went through made me who I was today. And if I didn't go through that, I would be a completely different person. I've always, once I've accepted myself and who I was and what I was all about, I think that that's something that will always remain the same with me. And it's because I realized that if I'm going to do something to make my life better, I need to do it myself. And that's when I moved out when I was 16. And for a while there, it did get a little better, but then I'm still in school, I'm still around these people, and it doesn't matter if you change one thing, there's still something else. And then, you know, high school ended, and I was still struggling with drugs because when I was dealing with it all, I had turned to drugs, which is something that so many people do, which is not the answer. It never is the answer, and it will never be the answer. But I got through that, and I came to Toronto, and I honestly, everything, my entire life is so different now, and it has gotten so much better. And I can look back on everything that I went through, and I can still remember what it was like to go through that. And I know that there's so many people going through that, and I just want you to know you're not the only people going through it. And you may feel like you're the only one, or nobody understands you, or nobody accepts you, or that nobody even cares. But there are so many people that do care about you, and suicide is it's just not the answer to anything. You're only going to be causing pain and hurt in all the people around you that love you, because even though you may think that your parents hate you, or your friends don't really care, or whatever, I mean, they do love you, and you can talk to them. You can tell your friends how you're feeling. You can tell your friends that you're gay. You can tell your friends that you don't feel comfortable in your own body. You know, they're your friends, and if they really do care and love you for who you are, they can give you so much support that you need. For me, it was my best friend that made me realize that I shouldn't kill myself, because at that time in my head it was like, what would I do, or what would my best friend do if I killed myself? I couldn't do that to her. And even though it was just one person that I was thinking about, that completely changed my mind, and my life has changed a lot since that point. And I guess that's kind of what I'm hoping to accomplish here, maybe. I mean, I don't even care if this reaches one person or a million people. I just, you know, as long as one person doesn't commit suicide because they watch this, I don't even know. That would make me feel so good, because there's so many other things in life. There's so many things that you can do with your life, and you just have to, you know, just hold on and just, you know, just deal with it a little bit longer. I know it sucks, but a lot of, like, it's going to take a long time for people as a whole to change the way they think and the way they do things, or the things that they say to people. And in the meantime, you just have to remember that you're not alone, and it does get better. And once you realize that, and you get through the hard part of going through high school, you're never going to see them again, and your life will change a lot. Just always have to remember that it will get better. And I really hope that it does get better for you. And I hope that anything that I have said here might help you.